well, not long, but obviously the laps are quick. So let's just see. Okay, so we are, let's just see. All right, folks, it looks like we are actually good to go now, as we'll bring in or at least we'll attempt to bring in the gameplay. Again, it's been a rather rough night on the technical side of things, but I think I've got Regan here. Actually, no, not just yet. Let me just make absolutely sure that I've got the right, just make sure I have the right feed as much as anything else. So, again, I could hear him there a minute ago. Riggs, you got me?
Hello.
Yes, we got him, and we are going good here, as it looks like it's Mike Nickens leading the way here, assuming you've got the same video feed as I do.
It still has a bit of a lumberjack quality.
Yeah, again, still kind of sorting out the internet connection issues here. We are running a little bit of a lighter load here tonight at 720 instead of 1080. So hopefully that'll ease things a little bit. It looks like it's a little bit easier on the computer anyway. But again,
at least we got something, so.
What was that?
At least we got something.
Yes. So. And again, we are very grateful to anybody who happens to be watching as we try to figure this out. And yeah, it looks like we've got something broadcasting at least here now, as we'll flip it over to Jonathan Peden, last week's winner. And for those who may have happened to notice, again, things kind of being what they were with my move last week, haven't quite gotten his interview uploaded last week, but we'll do a double shot here whenever we do the interview tonight. So Holland Hurricanes 250. Again, we're at Gateway, or otherwise known as Worldwide Technology Raceway. And I know, Riggs, we kind of talked about it
32 laps to go. 32 laps to go.
Flat circuit here, at least fairly flat.
Keep forgetting I'm supposed to be doing that.
Obviously, a little bit of a challenge here presenting itself for our drivers.
Well, yes, I personally can somewhat consider more of like a larger Martinsville, because the straightaways are pretty flat, and then you got corners that are pretty much in the similar degrees to the corners you would see at Martinsville. And yeah, they're just long straightaways, and it just, the thing is, in saying it's a bigger Martinsville, it provides like a lot more opportunity for things to get bigger, because you know Martinsville, how small it is, it can provide its chaos. At Gateway, it's kind of an opportunity, like it gets bigger. It's a bigger opening for that, such a thing. And because of how long the straightaways are, as soon as you get into those corners, it's very sensitive with braking, like especially you'd see in real life as well, especially at the NASCAR Cup Series debuting there this season a while back. You can get some 3 and 4 wide racing down the straightaway at times, especially on restarts in particular. You don't want to be 3 or 4 wide going into these corners, especially with how kind of flat they are, and just the way you have to go through them. So it's quite the track, and once again, it's another new track on the schedule. We haven't been here. It's the same scenario as Mid-Ohio, except this time it's an oval. So
yeah, and you just saw an example of what you were talking about there with the track opening up, as we were on board with Tom Janikowski, as we're coming up on, being told by Race Control, 29 laps remaining here in the opening stage. And again, it's the full 250 miler, so I believe they're running 100% race length here tonight just to get to that distance. So we're in for a little bit of a grind, as again, you get a sense of the track widening out there, as we'll go on board with the number 12 of Mike Marini, the Eclipse Racing driver out of Thunder Bay. And it looks like he's sporting a little bit of a different paint job here, as it looked like we had somebody going into pit lane there in the back as well. And it looks like he finds himself in a battle with the number 9 of Jacob Nelson and the 77 of Reggie Kime as they come down the straight. And let me just see if I can go ahead and pull up some standings here along the side just to make sure I've got something to go off of. Again, not our finest hour here tonight, so again, sincere apologies to anybody who happens to be watching this and experiencing technical glitches here, as I thought Kai might have been thinking of a go there, but not quite close enough on the inside, as Marini will take the high line. And a little bit of a collective fishtail there. Not 100% sure if that was a game glitch.
Yeah, but Nelson went quite up the track there for a second there. Just barely grazed the wall. Maybe didn't even hit it inches.
And I think it was just enough for Reggie Kime to get by him here, though.
Exactly. Battle for second coming?
Not 100% sure where the positions are. Again, I do believe Mike Nickens was the pole sitter. It looks like he's coming up on the back of Darcy Cudmore. So, looks like 1, 2, 3 is Nickens, Peden, and Mercado right now.
And Mercado is slowly getting his way up to Peden there. Slowly.
Indeed so. A couple of actually, that's all three of the Florida guys in the top 3. The track isn't in Florida itself by chance, is it?
No, all the American drivers are coming in and being imposters.
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. As, again, we'll do our best to try.
How dare they?
Indeed. In the Canadian E-Motorsports Network, and we can confirm Madison, Illinois, the venue here, or at least the virtual Madison, Illinois here, the venue for Worldwide Technology Raceway, as it looks like Nickens has made his way by Darcy Cudmore, kind of riding the wall just to make sure he's not getting too far in the way of the leaders coming through.
Peden had to slide up the course, had to slide quite a lot up there to get past Cudmore in lapping him. That was strange.
And it looks like Mercado's had a slightly easier time of it. There's the 75, maybe a little bit of a wobble there coming through, as we see somebody in pit lane there. Couldn't quite get a visual on who that happened to be. But again, it looks like it's the 18... Well, we're staying with him here. He was on pole, obviously, and looks like Nickens is kind of cruising here at WWT early on. Hopefully we'll get an update from Race Control in fairly timely fashion. But again, the lap's fairly short here, as WWT, it clocks in at... kind of blanking here on the distance. I'm sure a good old wiki lookup. 1.25 miles is what we're looking at. So 200 laps in total. Couldn't do the real-time pressure math there, Riggs. So hopefully we'll be able to get things on the right foot, as we will bring it back to John Peden, who looks like he's catching up to Nickens here, actually. But again, not quite close enough to make a move just yet. As it looks like they're going to have another lap car kind of, I was going to say dip down. But, I thought Nickens was going in on the inside. It looked like someone else was headed in a pit. Actually, that's Nickens himself headed in a pit lane. So I think that's going to mean John Peden inherits the lead, as he just lapped. I'm not sure if that's Trent Nielsen. Usually that's the green. Either way, Peden passed lead lap traffic. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to assume that's the pit window. I can only imagine that's a thing with this track, and you mentioned the race length is it's a lot longer than expected, so probably that.
Yeah, a little bit of a different track configuration here, as you mentioned, as we see Tom Janikowski headed into pit lane
at the entrance of pit road.
Number 93 out of Appleton, Wisconsin.
Speed.
No, because I spun at that entrance of the...
And bringing it back to Mike Maria, as I'm listening into the...
I love how you said the exact
Discord
same.
Race Control at the same time here. A little bit of an amusing bit of context here. Guys just trying to get coordinated here, headed into pit lane. As, again, we'll try our best to kind of reset. Again, a little bit of a mess here technically, so I will take the brunt for that.
Jason did the same thing.
No.
As we're with Jacob Nelson here in the number 9.
This pit. I'm so down right now.
And I might have to turn them down a little bit so that I can actually focus on what's going on. A lot of chatter there in my ears. And again, it looks like we are kind of in that pit window as you alluded to earlier, Riggs. So again, I think, or by the looks of it, it doesn't look like there's been a whole lot of change here in our order. Although I could very much be wrong on that, as Mercado makes a pass here on Darcy Cudmore.
Oh, I see you too.
Looks like that 41's running fairly well here, and Corbs we've talked, no, not Corbs, Riggs. Jesus. It's been a long couple of weeks here, folks. And what I was going to say here is it looks like the 41's running really well here tonight, and he's a guy who's been there in qualifying, just is looking to have that translate to the W. Maybe this is where it happens.
Well, yeah, perhaps it's been a bit of a strange headline through 2022 so far. He's gotten great qualifying positions. There's been some poles. The stage performances have always been terrific, but when it comes to the race, especially like in the, let's say, the final stage, for example, he's always up there. But it never has really prevailed for him, like being the first car across the line for the checkered flag. But I mean, there's still plenty of time, and he's obviously in the running for the playoffs. He's the first, second, maybe third best driver that doesn't have a win yet. But yeah, he still has a lot of potential to get a win here very soon. I'm sure it'll happen. He'll still have to take a couple of patience and probably quite a lot of luck as well.
And
he's got the pace. He's got the speed.
Absolutely. And I mean, it was the same kind of scenario last year. Like, ultimately, it was Talladega before he pulled out the victory. But again, ultimately, it did happen for him. And he's a guy who's going to be a contender no matter where. And speaking of contenders, I think you can throw Chase Beatty into that conversation. It looks like there's a bit of hood damage, or front end damage, I should say, to the front of that number 25 Chevy. But again, winner at Daytona, obviously
15 laps to go.
15, I believe I heard there for a lap count. But no, what I was going to say, obviously, winner at Daytona earlier this year, obviously a longer track, but I think he's a guy that could be competitive just about anywhere, as we will flip over to a guy who's absolutely been competitive in a lot of places, the 94 of Leo Jamieson out of Atlanta, Georgia. Again, the 2 wins this season already. And certainly, again, a guy who's proven that he's able to contend anywhere, eh, Riggs?
Who are we talking about here, sorry?
We got the 94 of Jamieson. He have 2 victories already this season.
Oh yes, he's come in here and made an immediate impact. He's surprisingly not the points leader though, because Jonathan Peden has gotten quite the pace and the momentum as of recently, but Jamieson, I personally see him as the top contender for the title right now. His pace, especially on the ovals, has been second to none. It's been right on par. He is absolutely dominating the rookie standings, and he's got Jonathan Peden and Ty Higginbottom on a team with him. So yeah, those 3 as a trio is it's quite the stacked roster, and it's a whole bunch of different circumstances that's helping Jamieson to come into this series and just be incredible so far.
Yeah, he's had a really good run of it, and talking about a number of different circumstances, Reggie Kime might find himself in the middle of a few here, trying to sneak past Beatty on that inside line, getting a follow, or at least following Hunter Young out of the turn. Darcy Ford right there in the mix as well. And full credit here, credit to Darcy Ford. He's running the operation here tonight. Dan Cudmore, series founder, enjoying a well-deserved vacation over in England for this week and next. So, obviously, with the time difference, he's not on track here tonight. I think that might be the first race he's actually missed. 10 laps to go, we're being told by Race Control.
I think.
Followed by an I believe. So maybe not the most confident approach here on any side here, but again, we're trying our best to deliver a product. And yeah, we'll certainly be better once we've got everything kind of fully finalized here from next week onward, I do believe. As we'll do our best here to try and get a running order. Again, for those unfamiliar with the operation, we do not have the benefit of a live leaderboard here in NASCAR Heat 5, so we do our best, and we do have assistance from our dear friends in race control, some of our drivers who are on the track, and yeah, they just do their best to kind of provide positions whenever they can. Obviously, things get a little bit tighter as we go along. And let's just see if we can go ahead and try and get ourselves a top 5. I'm just going to pop that into a chat.
94 and 97 Peden.
And it sounds like Higginbotham and Jameson both headed into pit lane. As we check in on the 17 of Corbin McCauley for the first time. He pitted a little bit earlier in the stint. And yeah, again, not 100% sure where he's running. He's got Janikowski behind him, I can tell you that. And yeah, Corbin, he's a guy who can do damage in a lot of different places. I think of his season 1 win at Martinsville, certainly chiefly among that mix. And I believe he was either close or won at Kansas in, I think, season 1 or 2. But either way, on these kinds of tracks, 17's certainly one to watch. As we will move along now to the 36.
94, 97 coming out.
And yeah, just getting word, Jameson and Higginbotham both coming out of pit lane. And that'll be the 2 Tornado Alley guys stopping together. So Riggs, clearly maybe a little bit of teamwork, a little bit of pairing going on here as Reed tries to go inside on Darcy Ford, going door to door down the straight. And it looks like Reed.
I'm sorry. I'm going through. I'm going through some of my own. I'm going through some of my own technical issues now. It's the role is swapped now. I'm trying to figure that out, but I think I should be good now. What were you saying related to me there?
Oh, well, where was I going here? Oh, maybe a team strategy there with Jameson and Higginbotham having pitted together a couple laps ago.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely a pattern we've seen in the past couple races. It's usually either 2 cars from that team, or maybe all 3 drivers from the team. They always every now and then, maybe even every race, they've always seemed to come together for some form of a pit strategy, especially during races where it's green flag windows that take place. So I'm not surprised to hear that. And I remember at Charlotte, I remember it was a Charlotte whenever they were really picking out those strategies and implementing them, and look at where it got them to the end. I mean, Jameson literally stormed through the top 5 all the way to the front because of his strategy of getting tires last. He had the fresher tires, but just barely, and was able to climb all the way up. So it might just be another situation of that here, although you got to think about it. It's a flat oval, so it might be a little bit more difficult in comparison to the bank, the bank corners you get at Charlotte. I mean, who knows? Jameson's proven that he's capable of just soaring past everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. As I think we are on board as I bring it back to OBS. Yeah, we got Darcy Ford that we're following here right now. Again, we're a little bit behind the 8 ball here tonight. Hopefully from stage 2 onward, we'll be just fine. But again, things kind of coming up and biting us here on all sides, whether it's the kind of technical component or, again, I think there were some actual problems getting the race going in the beginning. So yeah, maybe not the best night on any front here.
Leaders just hit 2 to go in the stage.
2 to go in the stage, being told. And just trying to get a sense of, yeah, I believe we're back to our race leader here, Mike Nickens. Certainly looks like some clear track ahead of him as he heads down the back straight.
I mean, hey, it's been what I've saying. It's been kind of the headline I've been trying to put out, especially for the past, I would say, like maybe 2 or 3 races. Mike Nickens has been slowly progressing up through the field. He was more of a midfield driver whenever it was around Daytona and Auto Club, but like especially in stages too, in the past couple races, he has been very quietly getting his way through. But now we're actually starting to see him. He's been getting said a lot more by us as of recently. So yeah, I'm not surprised to see him up here, and he's trying to make a name of himself, especially with guys like Jonathan Peden, Leo Jameson, like all those guys, like the Tornado Alley team. Like he's trying to fight them off because they're the dominant team, and literally there's only one other driver so far that has gotten a win that has not been on Tornado Alley in Chase Beatty. So perhaps Mike Nickens becomes the second driver to do that, although I might have just jinxed myself there. I mean, it's only a stage right now, but actually, never mind. It looks like he may have just won the first stage. Yeah, he just won the first stage.
End of the stage.
And it was close.
End of the stage.
It was close. It's only the first stage, though. We still got a whole race to go. So the pressure's on.
Good display from our pole setter, though, it has to be said.
Looks like there was a wreck between the 17 and 19 in the last turn.
And yeah, getting word maybe
not 19, sorry,
there
12.
between
17, 12.
Sounds like Macaulay and Marini.
No, it was in turn 4, right before the finish line.
Turn 4, I'm hearing, just as they were coming up to end the stage.
Maybe one position each. So
I've heard. Yeah, I don't mean to expand upon anything. I'm just saying this in general. It seems like there might be some bad blood, maybe, but I don't think I'm gonna go any further on that. It's just kind of it's something that I've been looking at as of recently, if that makes sense.
I don't think it's the case this time around, though, based on what I'm seeing in a separate chat. And yeah, it looks like it's just an honest mistake there that time around as we head into stage number 2. And geez, I thought they were going 3 wide off the line here. They may well have. And good Lord, what in the world is going on here? Well, what I can tell you is, I was about to say Nickens was in the lead, but yeah, I think he has gotten back out into the lead to begin this stage. Mercado second, Peden in third, Reggie Kime trying to slot in there in fourth. Looks like Darcy Ford rounding out the top 5 very early on. Jacob Nelson also very much in the mix.
I think I saw right off the start there, Leo Jameson was like maybe 3rd, 4th-ish. He was around there somewhere in the top 5 or just outside. And he dove straight to the inside and just kind of backed off. I can only imagine he's probably somewhere in the middle of the pack now. It wouldn't surprise me if he's kind of trying to stay away from the chaos for the time being, maybe slowly climb his way up, because obviously, like we said earlier, he knows that he's shown the skills of just getting by everyone, so maybe that's what happened there. But yeah, I wasn't expecting to see that too at the same time, though.
Yeah, speaking of getting by everyone, I think everyone's gotten by John Peden here by the looks of things. Not 100% sure what's gone on here. I thought he was up toward the head of the field. Maybe that was another car that I was looking at. But certainly the 53 a little bit further down. Might be a pit thing, too.
Oh yeah, it might be the same thing that Jameson. Maybe it's a bit of a strategy thing with Jameson as well. But the thing is, though, I noticed, I think one of the cameras cut off there. I think someone may have dove down under him. I might be wrong there, but I remember seeing him side by side with someone. Maybe there was contact that caused him to actually end up going up the track. Maybe it wasn't him. Who knows? And it looks like there's a bit of close racing here between Janikowski and Darcy Cudmore. There's a bit of contact there. There's a dive bomb right there as well. They're getting together in the grass. Cudmore.
Yeah, that was getting a little tight there. And Janikowski qualified 3rd here tonight.
Oh, jeez.
It seems like WWT is producing a little bit of WWE level madness here. As we'll try and get through the field now. We'll try and find Mike Marini here somewhere. Looks like he's just in that last shot there in the 12. Oh, somebody threw the grass. Might have been the 85 of Kevin Daigle. Not 100% sure on that. I saw blue and black.
I mean, I was saying earlier, I like to think of this track as like a larger Martinsville, but the thing is, at Martinsville, if you get in the grass, you're immediately going around because of that damn yellow curb. But then here, you can just go right through it.
Oh, speaking of going around,
Oh,
that was Hunter
trouble.
getting turned around off of turn 4.
You know.
And yeah, we just kind
So
of saw
going pretty
that in
good
the
then, I guess.
background. Maybe just
All in
took
all.
4 a little bit too tight. And yeah, just kind of a strange, chaotic night here as we check in now on Jacob Nelson in the number 9 Chevy. And Nelson looks like he's tucked in behind. I think that's Higginbotham ahead. Travis Tyson just in the back. And Darcy Ford just ahead there as well. So 3 guys rather comfortably in the playoff picture here, it has to be said. As Nelson, I think he might be trying to have a sniff up the outside.
Some
But
contact
Tyson
there between Ford and Higginbottom.
Yeah, and I think Tyson was trying to maybe have a look in there after Nelson went high. And, well, not quite 3 wide there, a little bit of depth. But yeah, Nelson's found his way past both Higginbotham and Ford there. So nice little bit of maneuvering there from the 9. Although he's going to be right back under pressure. Just dives into the inside to maintain the position. Though Higginbotham might have a look. Things, yeah, just no matter where you look in the field here, Riggs, things looking like they're kind of wild.
There's some areas of chaos going on. I mean, we're getting later and later to the race. That it can only mean that there might be some mayhem that starts to progress up here. I mean, we might have, what we saw there at the beginning of the second stage. I don't mean to be. I don't know what term to use, but like we missed the beginning of the whole race itself. So
yes,
I can only imagine we may have missed some stuff. Maybe we don't know, but. I don't mean to put that on you.
No, I've been putting that on myself the entire evening here, so that's totally fine. Meanwhile,
no, I just wanted to kiss the wall a little
speaking
bit.
of a totally
not make out with it completely,
here,
just give
Mike
it a
Nickens
kiss.
turning in a totally fine performance, but Jose Mercado may have him under siege here momentarily. Mercado running second, and didn't quite see. It's Reggie Kime running in third, which would be one of his best runs that he's had over his season and a half here in the Canadian E-Motorsports Network NASCAR Series. But, again, the focus is on the 41 right now as he tries to get up to the back of his teammate in the 18.
And is that Reggie Kime I see there in third place?
Indeed it is.
Ha!
I say,
32 laps to go.
32
32 laps.
32 laps remaining here in stage number 2. Somehow I was able to hear that one. But again, we remain with the lead battle here for the time being. Mercado, again, not quite close enough to get to the back of the 18. But he might have a decent run here off the start-finish straight. Certainly looks like a 2-car battle here for the most part right now anyway. And I thought Mercado might have gotten a run off of 2. Again, this is where the track gets a little bit wider, as you were talking about earlier. Just that little bit of a shoot there on the back straight. But again, nothing really doing there, although certainly something happening up ahead. As we got the little remnants of dirt there, I think Nickens may have kissed the wall, so Mercado may have a shot here. Just a little touch is all you really need, though. But it looks like Nickens may have gotten it back under control. As we will go up to Chase Beatty, who's in pit lane and again is still very much in the race, as you can tell by the car moving back and forth. Just in pit lane right now. Just a little bit of a lurch there. If there was no movement, that would mean a disconnection, but it looks like the 25's still going. Meanwhile, we'll head back on track to find the 94 of Leo Jameson. Looks like he's trying to get past someone here. Can't quite see. I think that might be the 44 of Keith Miller just ahead. And again, Jameson, you were talking about him a little bit earlier here in the stage ring, and we thought we saw him up a little bit further up the field earlier, as again we see him trying to make the move on Miller. Not sure if there's a glitchy connection there maybe, or what's going on. But the 94 has made the move. But as I say, it looks like he's just kind of running his own race here, maybe a little bit further back than we would expect.
Oh, there's trouble in the back. Trouble in the back.
Trouble in the back. Let's see if we can actually get to the back. Instead, it's to Reggie Kime. You got a handle on that. It's hard to see that in the background, though.
It might have been Jacob Nelson. I thought I saw maybe like a white car. Maybe there's a bit of black and green there as well. I think I should be correct. That's best I could see, considering
27 laps to go.
Considering kind of a choppy quality I'm getting on my end. That's what I saw. I think even a car got some. I think it was even there was some air there as well.
Man, oh man, we certainly got a big one there. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Certainly got the flying car there at that point, but last week was Mid-Ohio, so definitely nothing there.
You mean Chase Beatty at Charlotte?
I do.
That's what you're thinking of, yes.
Yes, that was precisely what I was thinking of, because we filled up the screen basically.
Yeah, we're just looking at the screen, everything's going good. We're just looking at one car, and then just a car going to the stands.
Indeed so.
NASCAR Heat 5.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what we can attribute all this to, right? As we check in on Corbin McCauley here, just coming through turn 4. It looks like he's trying to get up onto the back of, I think that might be the aforementioned Jacob Nelson, so maybe it wasn't him caught up in that at all.
I thought I saw a white car, though, so take that with a grain of salt, obviously. Maybe this is more towards the back of the pack, maybe Nelson's a lap car, maybe. Who knows? It was someone had issues, and it's just unfortunate for them. We'll just leave it at that.
Yes, that is a good spot to leave it, I think, as we see Brandon Reed scraping the wall there. Again, the number 36 running out of Fort Worth, Texas. And taking the inside line, I think he may have just been lapped by Kime. And that might be, again, the 55 of Trent Nielsen right in there with him. Actually, looks like Reed's trying to come back at the 77 here. Maybe even got him a little bit loose at the contact. Yeah, maybe just a little bit of front to back there. Reed kind of initiating from the back, or at least that's how it looked. And still kind of hanging around on the back of the 77. As we're getting close to... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Is he a lap car, or is he fourth place, or...
I mean, I thought Kime was about third or fourth, but this certainly looks like a pass here, doesn't it?
I mean, if he's actually trying to go for it, then I can only imagine he's probably up there, which is that's good to see for him.
Yeah, again, order may be looking a little bit different here, at least to the best of our knowledge. And again, the fact that we're in two different places, that certainly doesn't help the communications either, as we try and whip through the field now. As we see the 85, of Kevin Daigle, but we see, I think that was Dan Mattiello trying to crank it over into pit lane. Just ran a little bit wide into the grass there, it looked like in the background. As we will move along now to 64 of Darcy Ford, who's headed into pit lane, or actually is headed out. So it looks like we're kind of in that window now for this middle stage in terms of pit stops.
Leaders pitting.
And there's the word from race control, leaders pitting.
Mike and Jose pitted.
Okay, so that's Nickens and Mercado both in pit lane, so... Let's see if we can go backwards to them. Well, there was Mercado in pit lane. And Yeah, did he actually get out ahead of the 18? No, he actually went in ahead. So Mercado came in as the race leader. So a little bit of development further up the field.
Yeah, probably got by Nickens while we were going through the rest of the cars there, I can only imagine.
Certainly appears that way as we see Nickens in pit lane here. And it looks like, Mercado's just going to nail him there.
Just barely. Wow.
It's going to be bumper to bumper coming out of pit lane here. Mercado maybe with a little bit of a better launch as he was able to get up to speed a little bit faster. Although, having said that, that's Mercado spinning.
Oh, wow.
Mercado with the spin out of pit lane. He had to have been hit on that back straight somehow as he was trying to rejoin. Not 100% sure what's happened there. Certainly we'll find out.
Oh, boy.
That is, that's just another kind of string here as we see someone else going through the grass. And I think we just got word of Corbin McCauley going into pit lane. But anyway, this is getting a little bit weird here.
We still have another stage to go, man. I'd probably keep
17 laps to go.
Because
97's the leader.
The time for chaos is probably coming here soon.
I kept it straight.
So, getting into the later stages of stage 2. Getting word that Ty Higginbotham was the race leader, headed into pit lane this time around, though. 16 to go in the stage.
Never go fast enough. So,
or at least it would have been 16 at the line. Let's just see if we can actually get to him. You're trying to find him.
Then put it in third.
Yeah.
97, where are you, man?
Ooh, my pit crew gave me 0.1 seconds of advantage.
Backwards. Let's just see. Yeah, I must have missed him here somewhere.
Yeah, it totally makes sense that some video game developers decided to have you scroll through the most random cars instead of the actual like order.
Yeah, and I think we just saw a little bit of a scrape there.
17 just hit the end of the wall of the that was...
Okay, you know what?
Shorts. Oh boy!
I think we're gonna take a break. I think I'm just gonna patch the Discord in. This is getting crazy here.
They're a little small, but I do.
You can squeeze it.
I think that might have been the stupidest thing I've ever done.
You've always done stupider.
Well, yeah, probably in the series, but... Oh, jeez.
So, as you can tell, it's clearly not us alone trying to figure things
Someone just
out.
wrecked in front of me. I need new pants as well.
And, things are... getting a little bit crazier here. As I'll go ahead and shut off the...
That's a lot of soiled pants.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Of course I turned their monitoring off just as we got a great quote there. Unfortunately, probably cut off on the stream.
Just with a hole cut out the bottom.
But, things just kind of getting...
Oh, this car does not drive good now.
Oh, this is a weird night.
Tell me about it.
It's orange on every corner. Woo-hoo.
It has been, there's not really much more to kind of say about it other than, we're trying to figure that out. I would presume this is our leader, the 18 of Mike Nickens, but let's just see if...
it is Gator. Gator is the leader.
Oh, John Peden is the leader. So, that's the word I'm getting from Race Control anyway. And, we've seen him be strong on the road courses, and he talked about, just kind of taking the same approach as he did at Iowa a few weeks ago when he wasn't sure how he was going to do. Suddenly, and perhaps not shockingly, he finds himself P1 once again. Although, is this a move for the lead? I don't know. Sorry, Riggs, go ahead.
Peden. I would say this season Peden's giving me pure Chase Elliott vibes, purely because on the road courses he's pretty much the number one guy, and then on the ovals it could be he could either be on winning pace, he could be top 5, top 10. He's it's pretty much Chase Elliott vibes too, especially considering he's also the points leader, although you could say the difference between real life and him is the fact that in this, it's a lot closer because you obviously have Leo Jameson right up on his butt, although it used to be the opposite for the past couple of races, and now it's kind of Peden taking the crown for the time being.
Indeed so, and of course the difference is the win, or at least compared to their last time out, the wins have been earned on merit as opposed to DQs for any post-race infractions. We, of course, do not have those. Just the nature of the old video game world. As again, it looks like Peden maintains the lead. We saw Mercado get spun out earlier, but suddenly he finds himself behind the 53. I'm not sure if that is a lap in the difference. Again, just the coordination here from all sides. Yeah, not the best night, but we're just kind of trying to enjoy it, trying to figure out everything that's going on. And
So I think the leader is 9 to go.
Does Dan Cudmore return next week? Just asking quickly.
Go. I don't know.
No, it's actually an actual question. I'm curious.
Had a third place for sure.
And yeah, we just got
Yeah,
the
I believe
question,
he
does
didn't
Dan
stop
Cudmore
yet.
return
Something
next
tells me.
week? I think the answer to that is probably not, unfortunately. So things just getting a little bit wilder here. I guess kind of inmates running the asylum here, Riggs. Again, a little bit of a weird night.
Well, is he not
would tell
okay
you
with?
guys that I can't
His time zone's like right now. It probably is like 1 or 2 a.m. over there. But I think he could probably handle an early morning NASCAR Heat 5 online race.
I think fourth is Jose coming.
Yeah,
behind
we'll
me, it
just
looks like.
ship
I
the
don't
steering
know.
wheel over there and
It's me, Jason.
ship
Oh.
the PlayStation.
And
I
it'll
don't
cost
really
like,
like
I don't know, like $100 or something to do all that because, we're going across the ocean.
And I mean, the economy is just fantastic right
Oh,
now. So,
Hey, it is you.
Oh, yes, inflation is such a great thing to exist.
yep,
Thank you, Jason.
that's
Yep.
pretty well. I mean, I know we're reaching for things right now,
I'm
but
gonna
we're
pass
just
by
having
20
fun with it.
How did economy get into this?
Well, I mean, talking about shipping,
26th
racing
position now,
rigs,
by the sounds of it.
all that good stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
5 billion.
How many laps do we got left?
Too many.
A couple.
Everything about it.
Okay.
Good sport, though.
I got
Too
no
many is
tires.
the answer right now. But only a few left in this stage, I do believe. Again, don't really have a sense of what's happening. This feels like kind of old school vibes here, quite honestly, when we're desperately fishing for answers. But again, the last I had heard, the 53 was leading, but I thought he was kind of letting cars by there earlier, whether it was lap traffic or what it was. I'm not 100% sure. But we'll go back to him because that's the last thing we heard. Or last thing I heard, I should say.
I mean, considering he's been letting cars pass by, I can only imagine Mike Nickens is probably the leader, but who knows?
Yeah, again, obviously a lot more difficult as you see both Macaulay and Christian Worsham going by Peden here on the straight. Where was I going with that point? Dear Lord.
Somewhere. It's been a night. It's been a night.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you pretty well said it. Quite honestly, just kind of the way things have been going, this is one for... This is like if all the outtakes made it to the race, essentially, is how this is going.
Yeah, that's a fair evaluation.
Yeah, again, maybe not the... Well, quite obviously not our finest hour here. But hopefully a lot less scrambling moving forward as well. Just to bring it back to a serious note there. As, yeah, it looks like Nickens pretty well has clear track around him here. Hopefully we'll have a better sense.
3 to go. P. Cola is your leader, the 53. 18 is second. 77 is third. 97 fourth. 9 fifth.
Okay, so top 5 here just got it, and we are at, I think we're coming up on 2 laps to go at the line in this stage, just to bring it back to being serious. So John Peden is still your race leader. Mike Nickens is second. Reggie Kime running third. Ty Higginbotham fourth. And Jacob Nelson rounds out the top 5. So, Kime, again, maybe the outlier there, but top 3 run here. That's really good for the 77.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And considering you say Jacob Nelson in 5th, he definitely wasn't the guy that got in the air or whatever happened there coming off turn 4 earlier in the stage. But back to Reggie Kime. Yeah, if I quickly look here, especially I'm trying to see here. Yeah, he's 11th in the standings after Mid-Ohio. I'm trying to see here if I can get some statistics here as well. He has 4 top 10s. That's pretty much it. He has an average finish of a 10.17. So I mean, I guess he's been one of the more quiet guys too, just like Mike Nickens as well.
Bigger man.
Yeah, he and Mike Nickens are pretty much like those quiet underdogs that are slowly trying to prove their name and actually get themselves mentioned on broadcast.
Yes, and I think speaking of broadcast, I think stage 2 may have just come to an end here. I'm trying to see if John Peden's slowing down, and indeed he is. So
Yep.
The 53, there's your signal that he's grabbed himself another stage, another playoff point. And, there's something in that Florida water here tonight by the looks of things. Again,
Pete Cola finished with 1%.
Peden taking stage 2, Nickens having taken stage 1. And, hopefully, I mean, as chaotic as things have been, I wouldn't expect anything less in stage 3.
Only 110 laps to go.
Hang in there, fellas.
That's a long time.
So, Reeds, I don't know if you're listening in on the
Roger
Discord.
that.
What lap is that going to be?
What I just heard is that the final stage is 110 laps.
I'm sorry, what?
Full track.
I'm sorry, too.
I don't mean to sound unprofessional right there, but
No.
what?
No, I say, I'm also very sorry about that, just the way things have gone.
Okay, so I get we're getting Charlotte here, basically. And here we go, green flag for 110 laps or whatever the heck this is supposed to be. And here comes the chaos into turns 1 and 2. I can only imagine someone's going to be absolutely sent here. And I was correct in the back of the back of the field.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it here as Nickens and Higginbotham going door to door. Yeah, that's
Got a couple of cars. Yeah, a couple of cars towards the apron there. Peden still leads a bit of a Nickens and Higginbotham going at there for second. Nickens is maybe will clear Higginbotham just barely. He will.
He may have had a little touch off the wall there in turn 4 as well, but held on.
Yeah, Peden will lead the first lap here. I believe that was Bob Drew the third there in 4th place, getting the fight from Reggie Kime. Yeah, Bob Drew again.
Oh, no, Bob into the wall now.
Am I a jinx or something? Am I a jinx or what?
No, it's a broadcaster thing. It absolutely is, as Bob Drew.
Oh, one car got sent up in the back right there as well. Might be able to get some angle up here.
I'm just getting
chaos is happening all over the place. I mean, we literally. I mean, if this is 110 laps, we're probably going to get a pit window, but maybe halfway through or something. So now we got a battle for the lead. Here's Mike Nickens is trying to pass by Jonathan Peden here. He's able to get by him just fine right there. I believe so in 3rd place. Yeah. That is correct. In 3rd place, still Ty Higginbotham, Reggie Kime 4th, and I can't tell who's in 5th. I'm going to assume that that's Jacob Nelson there as well. It's just kind of the same driver. Yeah, still kind of the same drivers. Bob Drew the third, though. We haven't really seen him too much up here at the front, but maybe he's weighted. Maybe it could be anything. It's just the way this race has gone. But overall, it's just nice to see him up here. And I probably have. Did I just become the main commentator there? I probably just let you for about 5 minutes there.
That is totally fine by me as I try to collect some thoughts here. It's, again, just been that kind of a night as We'll go back to the lead battle here briefly. Again, it's Nickens in the lead, Peden second. As you say, Higginbotham third, Kleiman fourth, and yeah, Jacob Nelson fifth. Bob Drew the third and sixth. Travis Tyson, a guy we haven't really talked about much, he is in seventh in the number 87. So good run for the good run for the Eclipse driver there. As in the midst of all the chaos here, it looks like, oddly enough, things have kind of gone single file here, at least briefly.
Peden.
Yeah, that was a little bit close. Might give Higginbotham a window here for second, though, on the inside, as Peden does run high. Higginbotham will get the inside line. Kime may have had a go, but instead the 53 drops to P3.
Peden's going to give a bit of a bump there to Higginbotham. I was wondering if I was going to do something there, but no, it's not going to. I was just going to mention something about Travis Tyson earlier. Like, Tyson is right there on the cut line. There's a bit of a difference between him and 17th place, which is, ironically, it's Dan Cudmore, but it's probably not going to be after this race. I apologize. But yeah, there's a bit of a gap, too, especially considering as well, tied with Dan Cudmore right now, I guess for 17th place, or you can say 18th, whatever, is Andy Hurdle, who missed Mid-Ohio last week. And he was actually up over the cut line back but just before Mid-Ohio, I believe. So, yeah, if Tyson, maybe because Hurdle and like these guys are kind of missing the races there, maybe they'll give the opportunity for guys like Travis Tyson and Tom Janikowski and Jonathan Moore to like put quite the gap over other guys and be able to remain safe here as we get into, I believe, what is it now, like 3 races remaining after tonight? Is it?
3 after tonight, absolutely.
All right, yes. But the thing is, though, too, you can't. There's still, we could still get some shenanigans and have some unexpected winners. I mean, maybe Dan Cudmore somehow pops out and scores a win. I wouldn't count out guys, maybe even like Andy Hurdle and Brandon Reed are 2 guys that I don't know if they would necessarily be winning caliber, but I wouldn't count them out. I wouldn't count them out. Like, they still could end up getting some good points if the guys currently just barely over the cut line have some poor luck. There's still plenty of time. It may be 3 races after tonight. We still have tonight to even conclude. So anything can happen. Anything can happen. We've seen that's basically been the headline for tonight.
Yeah, we absolutely have tonight still to conclude somehow, as we will check in on Mike Marini here. I believe the 12 is running in 12th place by the looks of things, just based on Tyson there being 7th. I believe there's it might be 11th place here for Marini. And Mike, he's a guy that maybe the wins aren't there. He's a guy that, the performances still just happen to kind of go along here as I contact ahead. Yeah, that was Dangle getting sideways.
Down.
The 2 other big guys nearly getting into it there.
He's able to keep it going, but he ends up slow, and he's now towards the back there. There's trouble in the back. I think a car might have gotten some air along the fence there, I believe.
It sure looked like there was something there. Again, hard to see just way off in the background there, but yeah, it certainly looked like something was going on. As we'll check in on Jacob Nelson here now. And Nelson still running in 5th and getting a little bit of separation between himself and, I was about to say Bob Drew the third, but it looks like, not sure if that's Mercado in position or a lap down after the spin or what was going on. Again, a little bit of a, I don't even think you can call it a wild night here, Riggs. Just weird.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, like anything that could happen, it feels like has happened.
Yeah, pretty much.
95 laps to go, 95 laps to go.
And yeah, unfortunately, when I gave you the stage length, unfortunately it was correct because I was just told by Darcy Ford, 95 laps remaining in this one.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, if we're feeling that, imagine how the drivers are feeling as we're watching.
Probably I probably should shut my mouth here because the drivers are the ones that have to go through all of this. Like we're only really looking at this and just speaking. So
Yep.
I'll have to keep that. I'll have to keep that awareness as we move along. Although to be fair, we have had the technical issues gone through the whole night as well. So
indeed, we have. And again, we thank anybody who still happens to be watching. We certainly would not blame you tonight if you happen to divert your attention elsewhere. Just, that kind of a night here as we check in on Chase Beatty, trying to make a move on Hunter Young. Those two have been together for a good chunk of the evening here, I do believe. I know we saw Young go spinning there earlier, one of many who've kind of had that fate befall them, I guess you could say. As I thought Young may have touched the wall in the straight, but looks like he holds on. But we'll see if Beatty gets a bit of a run here. But not quite close enough is the 25 this time around. So we'll bring it back to Leo Jameson, who looked like he was running just kind of on the fringes of the top 10. Trying to get to the back of Marini here going into turn 1. As that's Mattiello scraping the wall. Again, it seems like there's been a lot of that throughout the field here tonight, so maybe not the greatest night all the way around, to be quite honest. As Jameson might have the move on Marini coming out of, I wanted to say that was turn 2. No, pit lane's there. Because I think it's just the single pit lane there at WWT, right? It's not a double-sided pit lane. As Jameson, again, he's right on that back bumper, the 12. As, man, I thought something else was going on back there. Nothing would be a surprise at this point. Just like not a huge surprise that Jameson finds his way past the 94. And it looks like Jameson
90
is
laps
the
to
94.
go. 90 laps.
90 laps remaining. Man. Meanwhile, we'll continue through the field. Bring it back to Reggie Kime here, who I believe is in 4th. We had him in 3rd earlier, but I think he may have dropped to P4 because I see Jacob Nelson there behind him. And Ty Higginbotham's made his way up into that kind of lead trio. It looks like Mike Nickens still your leader. Higginbotham's 2nd. Peden runs 3rd as we just see them going through the turn. And Kime with a nice run there on the back straight, trying to hold off Nelson. And coming through turns 3 and 4, you have to wonder, he's obviously still very, very early in the stage, but at what point do you start thinking about trying to reel in that lead trio?
Well, we still have the pit. There's still plenty of time until the pit window. That's the thing. And then there's the amount of laps after the pit window as well. So, I mean, it really differs. It really depends on how everyone's racing tonight. It differs between every driver. Especially with Mike Nickens, as long as he's able to keep it smooth and not use up the tires as much, especially going down the long straightaways and through the somewhat flat corners. Just keep it smooth, keep it fresh, don't wear the tires so much. And considering what we saw at Charlotte with Leo Jameson's pit strategy, Nickens will probably have to consider that, especially if Jameson is, I would say, up in the top 5 or whatever. Although I do recall earlier he was actually kind of falling back a little bit there. He wasn't in the top 5. He was actually, he might be even outside the top 10. So I don't know. Maybe he's thinking of a strategy. Maybe it's not that. Maybe he's just struggling tonight. Who knows?
Well, I think who knows is kind of a good summation of the evening here, as we just saw Nelson execute the move on Reggie Kime. There you see the 9 ahead of the 77 on track. And that kind of happened while we were talking there, as we check in on Corbin McCauley now, who's under hot pursuit here from Darcy Ford. And a little bit of side-by-side racing there in the back between Travis Tyson and Bob Drew. I think Bob Drew may have gotten the position off of the 87. Indeed, he has. And I think that's the 94 maybe lurking
85 laps to go. 85 laps.
85 laps to go. We can just keep ticking them off all night here. As it looks like Macaulay's going to maintain the position here, at least for the time being. Flip over to... Well, we'll try and get a quick run through the field here. We've obviously got some time as we just saw our leaders go by. And eventually here... Actually, I wonder if the 36 of Brandon Reed may have had a disconnection because that camera has not moved. So that's just speculation, but I think the 36's night might be done. As we'll head back on track to find the 85 of Kevin Daigle. A little bit of a battle here with Dan Mattiello coming down that back straight. And again, it hasn't quite been the A1 season that maybe the 85 would have wanted. He's gotten into the playoffs each of the first two seasons. But just kind of lingering back here right now, I believe may have missed Daytona as well. So that obviously doesn't help. But yeah, the 85 trying to string things together here a little bit as he's gotten past the 14 and built up a little bit of space. And now we'll go to the 64 of Darcy Ford. Looks like he's got Bob Drew III there for company. And this looks like kind of the battle for, I'm going to say 7 through 11 here by the looks of things. As Ford tries to hold off Drew, but the 6 might get a good run here. 6 giving Darcy a bit of a bump draft there. Darcy goes high. Oh, Jameson go for a dive. And
Or did Darcy get high there?
certainly a higher line. Yeah, I think Jameson may have helped Bob Drew III gain the position. Whether it was intentional or not, but it was getting a little dicey there for a moment. But again, either way, I see the 6 now ahead of the 64 on track. So, move well executed. As we will move along now to, well, it looks like we'll stay with a similar camera angle as we check in on Travis Tyson here. First real official look in here on
80 laps.
80 laps, I believe I heard from the Discord. And I'm not sure if I talked right over you there, Regan. If I did, I apologize.
No, I had nothing to say.
Okay. It must have been just the Discord in my ear then. Because I heard something. But yeah, just wasn't sure if it was me or you. But let's just see here. It looks like Tyson's kind of fallen off the back of that group that we were just following. So that would put the 87 right around 10th or 11th. And I know you were talking about him a little bit earlier, Regan, is kind of that guy on the playoff bubble right now. Certainly a top 10 won't hurt his standing here, especially with, again, 3 races left in the regular season after tonight.
Yeah, exactly. You just said it right there.
Yeah. And as we said that, I just realized that the overlays for tonight, I either forgot to do them, might have to just do a little bit of a quick fix there in post. But
Dan Cudmore has totally been racing tonight.
No, hasn't been in England at all.
No, not to tell. He is not. He is totally probably not asleep right now at all, considering time zones exist.
Yes, and I mean, if there's 3 hours between us now, add an entire ocean, yeah, better be asleep. As we check in on Ty Higginbotham here, who I think might actually be the race leader. Certainly Yeah, we kind of dumb lucked our way into the lead battle here, I think, as
Oh,
97.
boy, yeah.
Oh, Nickens with a little bit of touch off the wall.
It's the Tornado Alley invasion.
Well, I mean, that was something
There's literally tornadoes that have formed. There's a tornado alley forming here, quite literally.
pretty much, yeah. And yeah, it looks like the 97 is building up a little bit of a gap here over Nickens and Peden, and in the quote unquote post. What was that?
I was just going to say that don't forget the lap traffic coming up there, because there's quite a pack up there as well. And now you can continue with what you were saying.
Oh yeah, so post race interview, the one that I kind of forgot to post last week, John Peden made a specific point saying, you know what, it's been a little bit of a pattern these last 5 weeks. It went Leo, Peden, Higginbotham, then Leo and Peden for race wins. Guess who might be due tonight? That'll be the 97 as he comes up into the lap traffic.
Oh, geez, that is quite the pack.
Man, oh man.
Oh, geez. That's going to give a lot of opportunities for Peden and Nickens to catch up here. It might get a little bit scrambly. It wouldn't surprise me if actually like in this hollow.
Well, I saw Keith Miller go into the wall. I can tell you that for free.
Well, the thing is, you got to remember as well, Jose Mercado had a situation earlier with the lap cars. I assume a lap car had to screw with him whenever he went around. So, it looks like he's in the wall again. Yeah, he's going low.
Higginbotham with a little touch. And yeah, they're coming up under the back of Trent Nielsen here. John Peden might fancy his chances here. And I'm not sure who's ahead of Nielsen. Not sure. I think that might be the 00 of Christian Worsham. But either way,
here comes navigation down pit road.
Yeah, that was Mike Nickens heading into pit road. So that's the first of the top 3 peeling off.
Yeah, there's a couple cars coming down pit lane.
Yeah, it looks like Higginbotham and Peden staying out here for now, though. Might be getting to a stage where, well, and now they've navigated the lap traffic, so
97
that
pitting
also helps. And Higginbotham coming in this lap.
And so is Peden.
Yeah, again, not a huge surprise there. We did see them, I believe, pitting together earlier.
Exit for exiting.
Someone else coming in behind them. You could tell by the puff of dirt. As we'll bring it back out onto the track where we find the, I was about to say 17 because of his PSN name, but the 14 of Dan Mattiello. And yeah, Danny
17
just,
pitting.
again, not having maybe the night he would have wanted, as I'm hearing Corbin McCauley coming into pit lane as well. And Mattiello kind of running on his own here right now. He's got Janikowski about a corner ahead. Darcy Ford right there as well.
97 out.
And Higginbotham exiting pit lane. And I think Jason Butler may have had a disconnect there earlier from what I heard. So we'll just continue along to find the 29 of Jonathan Ward, the JMW Racing driver out of Saugerties, New York, as Hunter Young heads into pit lane. And I know you were talking about him again a little bit earlier, Riggs War. He's one of those guys who's right around that playoff bubble right now, and certainly, will need some solid performances to boost his chances over the next few weeks.
Well, yes, right now, before this race concludes, he has a bit of let me see here as I calculate the points. Yeah, he's got about a 35-point gap as he's currently in 14th place, while Dan Cudmore and Andy Hurdle and Brandon Reed are kind of in a 106, 107 points-ish around there. So, I mean, yeah, Jonathan Moore's got quite the gap on them as of right now. As long as he stays consistent, if he ends up getting a solid finish tonight, and then within the next 3 races gets some consistent runs as well, then he should be good enough to be one of the wildcard guys at the bottom of the playoff grid.
Yeah, and obviously, helped out by a couple of driver absences here as well. That'll give him a little bit more breathing room.
Yeah.
As we check in with the 00 of Christian Worsham here. And it hasn't been quite the year that the Deal, Maryland native would have wanted in his first season here in the NASCAR series.
Well, I just realized I literally just looked. I just looked at the schedule. It's right on my screen right now. I was saying earlier about guys like Andy Hurdle, Brandon Reed, and like those guys. I was like, they might not have winning caliber speed per se, but now I realize whenever I look at the schedule, Talladega's the regular season finale. Oh gosh.
I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right?
Chase Beatty repeating and coming.
It may well be, as Keith Miller kind of...
Team lag down.
He wins. I just mean like someone similar, maybe like someone unexpected per se.
Oh, absolutely.
Not counting that though.
No, I mean, we still got a few weeks before that, obviously. Oh, is Mercado getting loose? Able to... Well, I was about to say he held on. Nope.
Mercado's banging the wall a couple times. Or is that Mercado? Am I getting that?
It is.
Or is that Nelson?
Oh, Miller and Nelson, though, coming together. That has to be a connection issue.
Oh, jeez. We're dove right under.
Meanwhile, let's try and find a little bit of stability in the form of Darcy Kyborn, the number 75 Winston Racing Ford.
Stability is not the right term to use for tonight.
No.
65 laps to go. Leader's on 65 to go.
65 to go.
Leader is 18 with a 2-second lead on 97. 97 second and a half on 53.
I lost for words?
41
no, I'm
is
listening to a race
4th,
order.
about 4 seconds behind the leader.
Gotcha, okay.
And 77 is 5th, about 4 seconds behind the leader.
So we're getting word that tonight's pole sitter, Mike Nickens, is the race leader. Here he is. And I believe what I heard was Ty Higginbotham in second, John Peden third. Want to say Reggie Kime he's either fourth or fifth. I didn't fully catch it.
So yeah, I can only imagine Nickens hasn't hit it yet.
He may have actually come in earlier in the stage.
No, he came in earlier, and then the Tornado Alley guys came in. So, you said there was about 65 laps remaining. Are you aware of the pit window numbers? Did they have to pit again?
I'm not aware of that. I wouldn't be surprised if they have to pit again.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
Given the sheer length of the stage. Because, I mean, if you think about it, they all pitted in stages 1 and 2. At most, those would have been 45 laps. So you'd have to think, yeah, one more green flag stop is most likely what we're looking at here, as Mike Nickens continues to be, at least at this stage, looking for his first race win here in the Canadian E-Motorsports Network. Trying to do it under the lights here at WWT. And it looks like he's continuing to open up a bit of a gap here. That's Jonathan Warlap traffic behind him. But he's got a couple of seconds between himself and second place Ty Higginbotham. So that would be, a significant win here for the 18. It would also be a breakthrough for GTR Motorsports, second in the team standings, but no wins to this point, because Tornado Alley's basically swept all but one. But, yeah, it's looking like a pretty classy performance here from Mike Nickens, at least to this point. As, let's just see. We'll head over to Jonathan Peden now. He's still running in third. And based on what I saw in the background, it looked like it was Nelson running fourth and Reggie Kime running in fifth. Oh, Nelson there getting loose. Again, I'm not sure if that's a connection thing or people just holding on for dear life. But there's been a lot of that. Oh, man. Someone else wobbled. Again, not sure if that's Nelson or Mercado. Hard to see there in the background. From the front, a lot of the cars look kind of similar. A lot of white fronts. As we will continue along here, trying to, again, salvage something out of this evening. And so we'll bring it back to our race leader, again, keeping that 18 rather clean. And Riggs, I would say that is, above all else, kind of the name of the game here. Like, it's not, a super short track by any means, but obviously, Nickens has found a way to stay out of trouble here tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's still plenty of time though, but I think I'll kind of say it here. I'll take him as my winner prediction. And I probably just jinxed it, but I'm gonna hold steady. I'm gonna hold firm with that. I'm aware of the Tornado Alley guys being most dominant, but the thing is, like, Nickens has been like the number one guy that I've been focusing on within the past like 3 or 4 races. So if he comes home with the win tonight, it will not shock me at all whatsoever.
Turn 3. I didn't catch what it was.
Like, if he ends up, he's going to have quite the challenge against Tornado Alley guys, especially if there's like more green flight pit stops. He's going to have, like, if they come together, then that's going to be like a massive challenge and quite fights. But there's no denying that I think it's very possible that he can hang off of them. And it looks like there's a car slow off here. I believe that's Cudmore there on the low end from stretch, probably letting cars go by.
May well be the
Another
case.
car around turn 3 also could not catch who it was.
And yeah, it sounds like there's been some action in turn 3 over the last 30 seconds to a minute. A couple of cars going around. But again, unable to identify them as we've been kind of trying to figure this out. But yeah, just to expand on your point there, Riggs, Nickens certainly knocking on the door. Here, obviously a long way still to go. But the laps are kind of ticking down here. And a little bit of distance between second and third as we check in on John Peden. He's running P3 right now. And, well, I was about to say things were running smooth, but I guess he just took a super high line. I thought he might have been going into the wall through
55 laps to go. 55 laps to go.
55 to go, we're being told by Darcy Ford in our Race Control Discord. So we're halfway through this third and final stage. It's progress, Regan.
Oh yes, and it's taken forever as well.
Yeah, I mean, that was always going to be the nature of the evening. Again, just the sheer length of the race, the 250s, and I know the guys were kind of talking about this beforehand. Certainly an endurance test here, it has to be said.
I wasn't thinking there'd be endurance at Gateway of all places.
Well, just the sheer length of it, or the length of the evening here for the drivers. And obviously with everything that's happened, focus is going to be at a premium too. As we watch the 93 of Tom Janikowski, qualified third. But suffice it to say, it hasn't been his evening here, as it looks like, matter of fact, Mike Nickens is coming around maybe to put them a lap down, he and Trent Nielsen. And as Janikowski runs high through the turn, Nielsen's going to try and sneak by. And, geez, I thought we might have gotten a replay, but I think that was just a camera cut. As we'll check in briefly on Mike Marinas. We've actually gotten through the majority of the field here already in this third and final stage. I think we've actually gone to round 2. And again, we're doing our very best to try and follow everything that's gone on. Stage 3 decidedly a lot quieter than the first 2, so maybe a little bit of a reprieve in the action there, Riggs, but obviously lots and lots of chaos preceded it all.
Well, can you remind me again, what were the stage lengths for the first and second ones again?
I don't know if I had the exact lengths. I do know the third stage was 110.
Can you give me an estimation there?
I mean,
50 to go.
50 to go, we're being told. So let's just split it down the middle and say 45-45.
Well, yeah, it's basically the third stage is double that. So, I mean, it's going to be quiet too, especially considering the rule of cautions is only the stage breaks. So that's going to obviously cause everyone to spread it, especially with the green flag pit stops. And like, if you get involved, especially in that final stage, if you get involved in an incident, I mean, literally, I was talking earlier, Talladega is only a couple races away. It's the regular season finale. It's basically our version of the real life Daytona regular season finale. So if you crash out in that final stage, that's going to be a lot to rebound from. You're probably not going to at all unless somehow the whole field decided to like die.
Right. So you just made an interesting point there. That's obviously the only cautions that we have are in stages. Imagine if we had the full cautions for tonight. Imagine, as long as it's been, how much worse would it be?
That's the thing. There are some drivers who just want to race and race and race. If they end up wrecking, well, crap happens. It's just the way it is. But there are also some drivers. But then there's drivers who like they want to be able to at least have a chance to rebound. Like they don't want to fully have the DNF or whatever. Like they still want to. It's like giving an equal chance to everyone. Yeah. And but then with those people, you realize that with some races, especially if it's like long distance or whatever, you may get caution. You breed cautions. Like cautions will happen like every couple of laps, and races will just go on and on forever. I mean, from my research of races during the past couple of seasons, there's been some events that have definitely had that situation, but again, though, it just really depends on overall circumstances. So I would say with the new rule for this season, it's definitely interesting to see how the outcome turns out for races. I mean, there are some races where really it doesn't do a whole lot, especially for the lead cars. Like the lead cars just stay normal or whatever. But then whenever havoc truly happens in some races, especially if they're long ones, like at Charlotte, for example, or this race here, especially with this third and final stage that we're going through, because we're literally only like halfway through it now. Yeah, I pretty much said what I had to say.
Yeah, and while you were talking there, it looks like Jacob Nelson has passed Reggie Kime there once again. Those two have been battling here for a good chunk of this third and final stage, and it's got to be up there among some of the most competitive racing on track, as well.
Well, yeah, and they weren't afraid to make contact either to get by each other. They're not afraid at all to be aggressive. They were going back and forth at it. So,
all right, and I've got, as we were talking there, I've got a little bit of an update from perhaps unwitting insider Jason Butler. It's 38 laps.
45 laps to go.
And
Leader
45 laps
actually is coming to 44.
Oh, we might get the late strategies. Ho.
Yeah, I mean, leader just crossed the line to make it 44 to go. So ultimately now, within the next 5 to 10 laps, you're probably looking at the final pit window here as guys look to stretch the fuel to the end or get that final fill up.
Or perhaps someone decides to completely wear their tires off and actually wait until the end to see if they can get absolutely lucky. I would think Leo Jameson for that one, but at the same time, I don't think that probably would be the smartest move.
Meanwhile, it looks like things have kind of tightened up a little bit here. You were talking about maybe Mike Nickens, trying to hold on to the tires. Suddenly, looks like Higginbotham are in the process of reeling him in.
What I was saying earlier turned out to be accurate. Good lord. The broadcaster thing.
Yep.
It's happening.
Fair enough. But again, if he can hold on another, say, 5 laps, get it into pit lane, get that final fill up in as well, who knows? Maybe it'll just kind of work out here. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's kind of a similar window here for the top three. Because it seems like they've kind of separated themselves from the rest of the field. As you see, yeah, that gap is closing down rather quickly here. Peden and Higginbotham, they're working to reel in that 18. There's no question about it.
Just for the love of God, when the pit stops come around, do not speed. Do not.
Yeah, if there was ever going to be a time for it, that would absolutely not be it.
Exactly. Peden is right on the bumper of Higginbotham. I don't know if maybe he'll try and bump him along the straightaways to maybe get some a little bit of a speed advantage against Nickens, who's kind of all alone there.
Yes.
Or maybe he wants to pass him. Maybe he wants to take that advantage, especially with more pit stops there likely to come very soon.
Yeah, as I say, we're probably within like a 5-lap window here, I would have to think. Or starting that window in 5 laps, I should say. I believe we're down to 43 remaining now, or maybe 42. Yeah, and as I say, we got that little bit of intel there just a moment ago saying 38 laps of fuel per tank. And so, yeah, that's kind of your safe threshold there. Is, yeah, like
40
3 to 4
laps to
laps.
go.
Oh, into the wall!
39 laps to
All
go.
3 of them!
Oh, boy!
All 3 of them!
What in the world? Oh,
I
another
have
one,
to
too.
advise that
What in...
18 just wrecked, and the
Let me
97,
listen.
53 are involved. 97 has major damage.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so we
Oh,
saw
no.
that in the background.
53 has major damage. He can't turn.
Major
41 is now
damage
passing
to all of the top
97.
3. So you want to talk about broadcaster
That's crazy.
jinxes? We talked about these
How
top
cool
3
are you
separating
saying?
themselves. It's game on.
I literally looked down for like a couple seconds, and then I look up, and then immediately I hear you screaming, and then all of a sudden I just see a bunch of cars going around, and I have to recognize the colors, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
And, well, I mean,
That's unbelievable.
so much for, yeah, what was I saying earlier? Frig, I am trying to think of something.
Yeah, the pit window, the leaders, anything like that.
Probably something along those lines, but yeah, this is one of those kind of everything is happening nights. Oh, that's what it was. We were talking about the chaos of stages 1 and 2 and how stage 3 was quiet.
Stages 1 and 2 have nothing compared to what we just got.
Oh,
Nothing.
Top 3 all collected there. I've got no idea what the positions look like. I do know.
Oh yeah, you might want to advance a couple cars up, maybe.
Yeah. Let's just see here. That's Pete
Oh,
in pit
okay.
lane.
We got the pits. We got the cars on pit road.
97, 53,
This might
41.
help fix some of the cars' damage that were
15
involved
seconds
in
of
that
damage.
accident,
97,
too. Gotta think
97
about that.
for 53.
So,
Although that might actually
seconds
cause the
damage,
stops
I'm
to
being
be-
told for Higginbotham in terms of a fix. So that's going to
Well,
throw
yeah, that's
him
the
out of
thing.
the running.
Well, that's the thing. That the fixing the damage is actually like it might help. It might maybe help them a little bit, but it's also going to cause them to fall back because fixing damage with pit stops takes a while, especially depending on how much you have.
Yeah, say for Ty Higginbotham, we got the report directly from him that it was his personally was 15 seconds worth of damage. As we see,
Okay.
That's a game glitch, folks.
17 just inherited the lead, but will be pitting shortly.
So your leader right now is, let's see if we can get to him. There he is. There's your current leader, Corbin McCauley, but he has indicated that he will be pitting here shortly.
Not pitting
So
this time by.
this will be short-lived. This time by, as a matter of fact, the 17 headed in.
So who does that mean is in second then? Or maybe I shouldn't ask that. Maybe it's too early.
I mean,
Maybe.
I don't know what kind of answers we're going to get at the moment.
Oh, that's
Oh!
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Man, oh man. Anything and everything is happening here tonight,
Idiot
so
myself getting into pit road, but we made
let's
it in.
see. Reed, I think that might be a disconnection there for the 36. I
Yeah,
don't see
he's
any
not moving.
movement.
No. Ouch.
So, yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
we were already talking about that earlier anyways.
Okay,
He was
yeah.
already like a while back.
Yeah, there were definitely a couple of disconnections. Again, an absolutely baffling night here on the track, it has to be said.
I'm going to have a lot to write in my article.
You are. Well,
I could literally just write the word chaos, and it just makes sense. Just leave it at that.
I mean, you're. Oh, as I see a little bit of dust, I think that's someone else trying to get into pit lane. I was gonna say you could just pull the Bart Simpson writing on the chalkboard however many times, and you could probably just pass with that.
Chaos.
Pretty much, as Nickens opted not to repair at least some of the damage, at least, as there's definitely.
Does that mean he's the leader?
Man, I wish I could give you a better answer on that.
I might have to wait. Maybe I'm being too impatient here. I kind of want to know, though.
Me too. Don't get me wrong. Just, absolutely everything possible has happened. So I think we're probably at the point of, anything we presume, it's just going to change a few seconds later. So, just one of those nights.
Here, I'll fix it for you. It's very single file right through this field right now.
Well, I mean, more room
I apologize.
with, people crashing and people disconnecting. Got lots of room to operate now as we check in on Ty Higginbotham. And it looks like he's still got a little bit of damage on the front. I'm not sure if he opted to fix that up or not. I think he and Peden were both saying after that crash they couldn't turn. So clearly they had to fix something up. Otherwise, you're, quite frankly, not surviving. That sums it up.
Very much.
As, again, we're doing our best to try and sort this out at what is we should point out it is the Holland Hurricanes 250, again, not the Fix Auto Charlottetown 100. Again, did not get to the overlays kind of went missing there, and I'll take the fall for that one as well. As we see Matty Yellow in pit lane, I think that might be a disconnect. Jason Butler, we know, is a disconnect. Jonathan War, another disconnect.
30 to go.
That one's a tough one. We were talking earlier
The 41
about
is the leader.
Oh, the Jinx. The Jinx keeps
Second
happening.
is the 9. Third is the 77. Fourth is the 53. 17 is fifth. 94 is sixth. 97 seventh. 18 8th. 64 ninth. I don't know who's 10th. I tried to get a whole top 10.
I'm trying to get an order here. Ty Higginbotham doing
85, I think.
yeoman's work in reporting. And somehow in all this chaos, there's your leader, Reeks, Jose Mercado.
Jose Mercado. Wow.
Hey, he got his damage out of the way early.
Oh yeah, for sure. He had that early incident there, whatever stage it was. I've lost all track because of how crazy this stage has been.
Me too.
He's been kind of due. He's been due for a win this year because of qualifying performances, stage performances. He's due. He has to have one by now.
I would have to think, right?
The question I have though is who's in second and how far back?
I can answer that question, believe it or not. Jacob Nelson is second, and you were just seeing him in the background there, not quite the full straightaway. So it's Nelson second, Reggie Kime third. Can't remember who Higginbotham said was fourth. I know Higginbotham himself is seventh, with Nickens having dropped down to eighth.
Tornado Alley in shambles after that incident. Even Leo Jameson wasn't even involved yet. He's been struggling all night.
I think he's somewhere in that top 9 equation, though, that Ty Higginbotham was trying to give me.
I mean, it'd still be a solid finish, but you'd think with how he's been doing, how the whole team's been doing and dominating all these races and even winning, whichever of the 3 drivers ends up getting it, it's quite a disappointing night.
I mean, there's obviously a very high standard that's been set, but yeah, definitely. Yes. If it happens to finish the way it is right now, it certainly wouldn't be what they'd be accustomed to, as Mercado just continues to, at this point at least, keep it clean.
And make sure lap traffic doesn't absolutely screw him over.
Yeah, he's just slipped by Hunter Young here, so he's got a little bit of track before he gets up to Travis Tyson, who I believe is up next. And as I say, it's Nelson there in second. You're just... Actually, no, that's Reggie Kime in second. He's made a move. Those two, again, they've been battling all night. And
maybe Reggie Kime is starting to find some late pace, some late speed here. I mean, well, the thing is, do you know how many laps are remaining?
I haven't gotten a message here from the Discord in a little bit. I'm going to say it's somewhere in the ballpark of 25 to 30.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's still time for Reggie Kime even to like maybe find something to figure out his way up to Mercado. Although Mercado does have quite the distance, and I believe is that Peden back there. I think that might be fourth place for him. Maybe. All right. I mean, there is kind of a decent finish there, maybe for Tornado Alley, but still not. I'm going to keep saying it's a disappointing night.
I mean, it was going good there for a little bit. Obviously, that Stage 3 crash kind of changed everything for them, or at least in the case of the 97 and 53.
That's quite the headline for the next article. So
yes, it is. As again, we're watching this battle for second place here. Reggie Kime's moved up into P2 ahead of Jacob Nelson, who we're kind of focusing on right now. And it looks like it's staying fairly clean. It's been good, hard, competitive racing between these two anytime we've been focused on them. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit more action between these two. Oh, jeez, I thought they were going into the back of Keith Miller there for a second. But the 44 gets out of the way. And Kime maintains the position. And he takes a solid line through turn 1. Nelson trying to find a way past, but it looks like the 77 will hold station. As now, I was about to move, but Nelson's made a move of his own here. As it looks like he's got the inside line on Kime off of that back straight. And yeah, back up into second place. Jacob Nelson, nicely done.
20 laps to go, 20 to go.
Yeah, good clean job there. Maybe in a little bit of contact times, but clean job there by Nelson. The thing is, though, if they're going to keep battling like that, that's going to cause Mercado to just end up getting away.
And there you see him at the line. It's going to be 19 to go for the 41. As he tries to make his way through here. Again, he's coming up onto the back of Travis Tyson. There he crosses the line. 19 remaining in this one. Oh, a little bit loose there through turns 1 and 2. Again, I'm not sure if that's a tire thing or a connection thing or what's going on.
There's something going on back there. The lap cars.
What's going on? Yeah, that looked like maybe Worsham and Young almost coming together. It looks like they kept it generally pointing in the right direction.
Mercado is wiggling like hell going through turns 3 and 4.
Yes, he is. So, yeah, you have to wonder maybe about those tires. Or, again, it might be a connection thing. Not 100% sure. It usually boils down to one of those two things. But, yeah, he is just... That's like ragged edge running right there. Just riding the wall. Oh, man! Just holding on. And yet still getting up to the back of Tyson.
And it looks like Kime might have actually gotten past Nelson there too in the back. They're just going back and forth.
Going back and forth, so it wouldn't be a huge surprise. However, in all that battling, I think the one consolation for Mercado as he continues to try to extend his lead as he gets a little loose again, those like second and third, Kime and Nelson, they're also trying to get through lap traffic just to try and get to him. So That, I think, is playing into the 41's hands here as well, as he tries to keep the car on the track here, essentially. A lot of wiggling here. He holds on the higher line this time around. And, yeah, somehow, Mercado holding on. A little bit of a gaggle there back there. And yeah, it looks like Kime, as you say, has gotten up to second as we close in on 15 laps to go.
And it looks like Jonathan Peden is trying to get to the inside of here. Nelson's getting a little squirrely back there.
And again, honestly, can we really be surprised to see Jonathan Peden in a competitive position here? As Mercado's made his way past Tyson, it should be noted.
It appears third and fourth are side by side on the backstretch right now.
And let's just see here. This might be 3-4. Yeah, this is the battle you were talking about.
Yes, this is, yes.
And Nelson, he's got the inside line, but Peden might have the better drive. Yeah, 53's got the position for now, at least.
He's going to clear him.
14 laps to go, 14 laps.
14 laps remaining here, we're being told by Discord Race Control. Recovery drive, this would be for Jonathan Peden, given all that happened. If he's able to even move up into a top 2 position, I think first might be a little bit out of reach, but hey, 14 laps, anything can happen still. And as we've seen, it absolutely has.
Yeah, bit of wall contact there from Nelson.
Just a little kiss there as Nelson falls off into 4th. Let's go backwards now here to Peden here, though, as he runs 3rd. Looks like Nelson's fallen off the back of him already. But Peden trying to get onto the back of Kime here. So 2, 3, and 4 still fairly close here. But again, this is a great drive for the 77, really at a time when he needed it. I know we talked about him being, I believe, 11th in the standings going into tonight, as I think that was Nielsen maybe scraping the wall. But honestly, the 77, he's been running really well here. Although, as I say that, I think Peden may have gotten him on the straight. Yeah, Kime's trying to hold on.
He's trying to get that high line. It could work.
Peden trying to go high.
Nope.
Maybe
He's going to get the high line run, though.
Yeah, maybe the lap traffic setting a little bit of a pick there. But Kime, for now at least, maintains the position as they navigate their way past Nielsen. And then Tyson up next.
And you saw there Mercado going through turn 3 on his own. You can only imagine he's probably kind of sailing away, and it's probably going to be his, although I might have done the broadcast jinxing again there, but I think at some point it has to stop.
And I think I just heard while you were talking, I think it's 10 laps to go here now, as we remain with our race leader, Jose Mercado. And I think he's got, by the looks of it, it's about a straightaway the advantage between himself and second place. As 2, 3, and 4, they're all tucked in behind Travis Tyson there right now. And Mercado goes to, I was about to say start another lap, but then he went sideways again. Everybody's fighting it here tonight, Riggs. Is it just something about the track, or what do you think it is?
I mean,
it's uncharacteristic.
It's a flat track, so I mean, it definitely could mess with the tire wear. And the thing is, well, too, I mean, it's 110 laps. That's two pit windows right there, where it's, you said, like, the pit window is like 38 laps of fuel that car can handle. So, I mean, the tire wear, for especially with some drivers, like, it depends on if you take it conservatively, if you take it really hard, like, that tire wear can seriously go down. Even with two pit windows and that length of a stage can still... That's still a long length whenever you're like you're good and you're like don't need to pit anymore or whatever like that. The tire wear is still going to be down like heck. So.
Oh, man, I thought Mercado moved there again as he tries to get past Darcy Ford. I want to say it's 8 remaining now, maybe 7. Either way, again, we do know the 41 is still your race leader. As, again, he tries to hold on to that thing. Doing absolutely everything in his power. And, I thought he might have been on 2 wheels there for a second.
He's been quite the wiggly guy through the other races. I remember.
I think he may have hit.
Oh, Jesus!
Thought he hit there, but somehow it's still pointed in the right general direction.
I remember especially too on like the road courses, especially at Canadian Tire. He's quite the wiggly guy. That's not an insult either. It's just the way he races. He's got quite the racecraft that is different from other drivers. And it's not that it's bad. It's just the way he races. He likes to race his own way, and it looks like it's pretty much looking like it's going to be the first car to take checker flag here. Again, there's still a couple laps remaining, but it looks good.
Matter of fact, it'll be 4 remaining at the line when Mercado crosses, as we just gotten the word that it was 5 whenever we were talking there, so now it's 4 at the line. And yeah, just 5 miles to go here for Jose Mercado as he looks to lock in a playoff spot. And we kind of, whenever we got you live anyway, we talked about it, the fact that Mercado was kind of that highest ranking driver without a victory to this point in the season. That looks like
that's actually incorrect. It's Darcy Ford.
Okay, so I know at one point Mercado was in that.
For most races he was, but after what happened in Mid-Ohio, I think he got caught up in some shenanigans.
Right.
So Darcy Ford currently has a 4-point deficit over him right now. But you can only imagine after this race, whenever you don't count the wins, because obviously the wins, like for example, Chase Beatty is automatically going to be up there, even though he is right now only like 6th in points if you count everyone excluding the wins. So Mercado is definitely going to make his way up. He'll probably be 4th at best in the overall standings, I can only imagine.
And we just got the word 2 laps to go here, and suddenly in that time it looks like Mercado's cars found quite a bit of stability, and I think it's found it at just the right time here, as Mercado's coming up to the back of, I believe that's Beatty and I want to say Marini. And so coming out of turns 3 and 4, it'll be the white flag for Jose Mercado. And it'll be the final lap here of tonight's Holland Hurricanes 250 right about now.
White flag is in the air.
Yeah, so just 1.25 miles remaining here. So for Jose Mercado, I think it's just a matter of keeping it clean here at this point as he comes down the back straight for the final time. And it looks like he's navigated his way past Beatty here. And coming through turns 3 and 4, this is looking like it's going the way of the man from Kissimmee, Florida. Jose Mercado takes the checkered flag. He's the winner of tonight's Holland Hurricanes 250 at WWT. And Riggs, we made it.
We made it, and I think Reggie Kime and Jonathan Peden there actually fought there for second place coming down to the line there, and or that might have been Nelson. I saw some car going down there, but it appears Reggie Kime has second place. Nelson is right behind him. I'm going to assume he probably finished third. Maybe that was the car I saw there because it was a white car. It was a white color that I could see there. So it was kind of a jamble whenever looking back there. It wasn't the greatest angle. But yeah, those 3 cars, they're the ones to finish below Mercado for the rest of the top 4. So I'll give credit especially to Reggie Kime. A very solid race from the underdog in who was originally in 11th place after Mid-Ohio, but he's definitely going to be maybe like 8th, 9th. It could be around that range, maybe in the top 10. So
yeah, P2, easily his best drive in the season and a half that he's been part of the series. So kudos to the 77. As mentioned, Jacob Nelson and Jonathan Peden right there in the equation at the very end. And let's see, did I actually... May have to do some real-time kind of background production here as we try and figure all this out. So, yeah, we'll, again, try and make sense of everything that's happened here tonight. I think that's going to be a fool's errand, though, quite honestly. Because, yeah, anything... I've said it a few times here tonight, Riggs. Anything that we thought could happen pretty much did.
Keywords mayhem and finally.
Among others.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one of the, absolutely stranger nights that we've had in a while. And again, we don't get a Netflix commission for any kind of reference to that.
The thing is, too, the next 3 races, Indy, Darlington, Talladega. Cue all the terms you can think of.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the next race, because that was kind of the real-time production that I was doing, as we were going to, in fact, hype up the Fix Auto Charlottetown 200, as you mentioned, at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So, I mean, if we thought tonight was crazy enough, again, as things just get tighter and tighter in terms of getting that playoff picture finalized, ooh-wee, what is possibly in store for the next 3 weeks?
Well, I mean, that's the thing, too. It's another race of the Fix Auto Cup. We're 2 races down. We got 4 to go. If we look at the standings, it's literally the top. It's literally all 3 Tornado Alley cars up there in the top 3, and then Corbin McCauley and Mike Nickens kind of creeping up behind them as well. It's no surprise that Jonathan Peden, currently in the lead, has got about 3 points over Higginbottom. Has Indianapolis? Indy has been a used track, but how many times has it been used in the past?
We had it in season 1. Did not do it in season 2. Yeah, it's a returning...
And can you recall the winner?
I want to say it was Darcy Ford, but I'd have to look back into that. That's my best recollection. But instead of trying to remember things, let's go ahead and try and make new memories next week. Maybe kind of forget our personal and technical madness for tonight. And we'll just go ahead and kind of call it an evening here, I think. So, for the...
Sure.
Yeah, so we're super relieved that, we actually got something up here for our audience. But, yeah, for the Canadian E-Motorsports Network team, series founder Dan Cudmore, hopefully he's enjoying his vacation over in England. Color commentator Regan McCauley. My name's Jordan Carraher. Thank God we made it through this. And, yeah, we hope you enjoyed what you were able to see from tonight's Holland Hurricanes 250. And we'll see you next Tuesday night at Indy.
Insert ZZZs.